let's talk about what sovereignty is. And do we believe that God really is sovereign? So we know that God is ultimately in control of everything, but yet he's gracious enough and merciful enough to allow us to make our own decisions, to choose whether or not we want to have him be in our lives or not, or choose whether or not we want to sin or be righteous. But on a small factor, I think about this a lot. I think, how many things in my life have I done, or how many things in my life has happened to me that still ends up taking me where God wants me to go, if that makes sense. I think back to, so I run track. I talk about this all the time, but I think back to when I started running. I don't remember why I started running. I don't even remember really having an interest in running prior to when I started. It just happened. I was asked by one of my gym coaches at the time to come to cross country practice. I don't remember why. I really can't remember why I would have done it. But I had asthma. I was a skinny kid with asthma who really liked basketball, kinda. I didn't really like many sports, but basketball was the sport that I thought I wanted to do. And yet, something happened in gym where my gym teacher says, Micah, come to cross country practice. And I'm new at this school. I'm in 7th grade. I had been to a lot of schools prior to this, and it was very hard for me to make friends because I was always going from school to school to school to school. And I wasn't very, I don't know if I wasn't very social. I just wasn't the best at making friends. I don't know. Or at least that's what I felt. Anyway, I ended up going to the practice, and I love it. And it sparked something in me that I didn't know that I had. Competitiveness, because I wanted to beat somebody on the team, and also just a love for working really, 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 really hard. And because of that singular decision, I've been able to travel the country. I've been able to have a passion all my life for a long time, in my life for a long time, and it's brought me so much joy. And really, I don't really know what would have happened if I didn't go to that practice. And the truth is, there are like divine moments in your life. I mean, it's all of your life probably is fully controlled by God ultimately. Whether or not you give your life to him or not, he knows and controls it all. We talked about it. He's sovereign. But there's specific moments where things happen in your life that are pivotal, that take you all the way to where God is going. I mean, the fact that I even went to that school in the first place, the fact that I was able to come at a time where the people that were at the school were at the school, like that time, I could have been not held back. For example, I got held back in first grade because my mom thought that me and my sister should redo first grade. And maybe if I didn't get held back, I would come to Holbein, the middle school I was at where that happened, and I'd be a year older than all the guys that I ended up meeting. And then I wouldn't be able to run with them. Or, I don't know. There's so many things in my life that I felt like were bad things that ended up being for good. And I think we see that a lot in the Bible. We see that a lot in so many different people's stories. I'm thinking, prior to shooting this video, I was thinking about how King Solomon is the son of Bathsheba. And I'm not saying that Uriah's death was good, because it wasn't. It was sinful, and God grieved that, and he hated that. He hated that David did what he did to Bathsheba. But yet, even in, big noise there, but even in the sin and the sinful decision, God still works mercy and grace and miracles through that, so that we have one of the biggest kings of Israel's history, right? And so many other things happen over and over and over again. If you read the Bible, that decisions were made, whether God wanted them to do it or not, it still ends up working through the continuous story of God's restoration of humanity. And I think that's so cool, and it still applies today to our lives. Every decision you make, you might not have gotten to the point where I'm at, where you start to realize, oh man, that was God. God was working in all of this, all the way down, every year, every decision. God was working in it. And maybe you're not saved. Maybe you just happen to stumble upon this video and you think, wow, maybe if I didn't go take this nap and open up YouTube and click this video, then I wouldn't have gotten this message. I don't know. All I'm saying is there's small little decisions that we make, whether it's one way or the other. God is still working it out. Actually, boom, I was looking on TikTok the other night and somebody brought up this thing called burnt toast theory, because they were supposed to go to open heart surgery, and instead the next day they're coming back because they rescheduled the surgery. And on the caption it said, oh yeah, this is just burnt toast theory, which essentially burnt toast theory is this. I'm going to read it. Okay, here we go. Here's a simple explanation of burnt toast theory. Basically, sometimes when small annoying things happen, like burning your toast, missing the bus, or being late, they actually might be protecting you from something worse that you don't see. Whatever. Here's how this applies. People think that, oh, well, things are just coincidences. Well, I just happen to be here at this moment for this thing to happen. But no, that is literally God orchestrating and directing your life. And if we would just notice that, how much more trust will we just put in God if we actually knew that he was sovereign? If we actually believe that with our hearts, especially as believers, if you are a believer, if you just know or paid attention to or remember that, hey, I serve a God that is literally in control of every single thing. I don't have to worry. I don't have to try to make things work. I'm going to just actually do what he says and trust him. And then boom, life is good. I'm not saying life is going to be perfect. You're going to have to go through things. I've said this multiple times. You're going to go through things. But even the things that you go through are literally part of what God's plan is for you. So just sit back, relax, and trust him. Enjoy your life. Do your work. Have joy. That's exactly what a lot of Ecclesiastes is about. It's like this sadness and depression, right? But at the end of the day, it's all vain because God is in control and I get to spend my life with him. I mean, that's probably a very not the best explanation of what Ecclesiastes is, but read it for yourself. But I'm just saying, God is literally in control still. So I don't have to worry. I don't have to stress. But there's more probably. Like, I don't know if this is an encouragement to you. I don't really know. I mean, I'm just thinking about it. I really do love that we serve a God that from the beginning of humanity has set things in order for his glory and for our good. From the beginning, from the fall, all the way from there, he's been working it out, every single thing. And yet we decide so many times that we're not going to trust him, that we're not going to just give it all to him, which is crazy because he's literally God that made you. And I'm not just saying this to you as if like I'm not messed up, because I am. I always, and I will say always, mess up. I always think, well, let me do it my way. Let me think of a way to get out of this situation, when I really could just pray and ask God to do it and relinquish control. But you know, we love being in control. We're sinners completely. But all I'm saying is, if I could wrap this up, is trust in God. I have it tattooed on my arm. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understanding, because in all your ways acknowledge him and he shall direct your path. He's doing it anyway. Why don't you just give it all to him? And lastly, it's not a video unless I talk about Jesus. Like I said, from the beginning, from the foundations of humanity, God was setting everything in order to redeem the world from our sins, our decisions, and our issues. And he did that through Jesus. Every single decision that Israel made, every decision that Moses made, that Israel made, that every single decision, whether good or bad, ended up leading to the life of Jesus. God sending his only begotten son to earth to save you. So every time you feel like, man, I just don't understand why this is happening, or why I had to have this part of my life go this way, or, well, maybe I should do this thing or that thing. Just know that if you really, 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 really believe in God, just know that you'll be okay. It might be a hard time. They say weeping endures for the night, but joy comes in the morning. There's so many things in the scriptures that talk about that. Just trusting God deeply through it all, knowing that He is sovereign and in control. And when you have that type of understanding, things are just easier. There's peace. You can look at yourself through the word and be like, you know what? God is right. I don't look the best. Let me be like Jesus, who decided to give His life for me. Anyway, that's a whole bunch of yapping, and I'll still be back hopefully with another video next week. I love you. Goodbye. That's the end of the video. All right.